So, Chairperson, we want to give you an ultimatum of what must happen. We are requesting the Portfolio Committee take a decision and request Advocate Shamila Batohi to step down.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Please do understand that I'm not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, I am a South African citizen who's also a voter, and I do believe that my views count when it comes to political affairs of our gorgeous country. So, various political parties are calling for the X to fall on Shamila Batohi because South Africa is not happy the way NPA has performed, especially when it comes to that case involving Tim Omotoso from Nigeria, the pastor in South Africa. So that is the cause for the stay, though many people have been complaining for the longest time. So what I'm going to share with you now is Shamila Batohi saying, you know what, so I'm not coming. So I'm going to share that with you, as well as the intentions of the NPA to appeal the decision by the court and of finding Omotoso not guilty. And number two, also, I'm going to share with you how that looks like, how the NPA did not bring their A-team, according to the men speaking here. They did not bring their A-team, which resulted in poor performance, consequently giving us the verdict that we got for Omotoso. Anyway, guys, we'll see you right at the end with my closing commentary.
So, Chairperson, we want to give you an ultimatum of what must happen. We are requesting the Portfolio Committee take a decision and request Advocate Shamila Batohi to step down. And if she refuses to step down, Parliament must initiate her urgent removal, because not so, the collapse of justice system for GBV cases will be endorsing them, also be endorsing the corruption of prosecutorial ethics and erosion of public faith in the judiciary. Chairperson, the other matter that I want to raise before the Portfolio Committee is the matter of LUCEY. I formally would like to raise concern regarding the handling of the case of LUCEY at Matatiele SAPS, which has reportedly been referred to the senior public prosecutor according to the information that we got from her mother. But according to the mother, she's very distressed about the lack of communication, transparency, and accountability from the side of the police. And also, I won't say the prosecutorial team, because the information she got is that the case is being referred to the prosecution to take a decision if they are prosecuting, they are continuing with the prosecution. So we are requesting that this case be given the attention it deserves. We don't want to see this case going into the same routes as what we see with Omotoso case. So let's make sure that we attend to the case as soon as possible. According to the mother as well, she received clothes that she was told they are going for DNA testing, but she did not get information of what is happening with those clothes. What is the results, the outcome of forensic testing, particularly on the clothes that returned to the family. So we are also requesting that a direct liaison officer or victim support officer to be assigned to the family to ensure consistent and human communication. Lastly, Chairperson, is the matter of Pretorius. Chairperson and honorable members, what the NPA is doing is not justice, it's a manipulation. The appointment of Advocate Pretorius, who led evidence during the Zondo Commission, to now advise on prosecutions based on that same evidence is unethical and intellectually insulting. This is a clear case of the NPA playing both referee and player, undermining public trust, internal capacity, and basic fairness. Even worse, Chairperson, the NPA lobbied for him on national television before any formal process was announced. That is not accountability, Chairperson. It is arrogance, actually, on the side of the NPA. So, on what legal and procedural basis was Advocate Pretorius appointed, and was the position publicly advertised? How does the NPA justify appointing someone to advise on prosecution based on evidence he helped lead without acknowledging the clear conflict of interest? Chairperson, we are not going to allow that. As the EFF, we are against that thing. It must not ever happen. We are not going to allow people run the NPA as if it's their own personal firm of law. We are not going to allow that. So Advocate Pretorius cannot lead evidence and at the same time come now and advise in terms of how to prosecute those people that they've been mentioned to be implicated in the state capture cases. So we need to look into that, and we are not agreeing with it. Lastly, Chairperson, who authorized the NPA's public lobbying for this appointment on national TV? And were public funds used to promote this decision? Thanks, Chairperson. I'm done. Thank you.
Advocate Sally.
We are repeating the same call to her to say what is wrong with you and EPP taking a decision to resign in the face of an embarrassment which you have caused the entire country in the case of Omotoso.
I just wanted to confirm to herself, to this meeting, and to the people of South Africa that before the sun sets today, a letter would have landed in Mr. Ramaphosa's office, where we'll be asking for her suspension pending the investigation into her fitness to hold office.
We want to tell Advocate Shamila Batohi that she will never see mistakes on herself. We, as the country, we are seeing a lot of errors on her side. And we are requesting her nicely to resign as soon as possible.
I can promise you there are many of a similar matter that is before courts and not before courts, where the NPA and the NDPP's office is failing South Africa. And I will too duly note that Shamila Batohi needs to be removed from her position.
At this point in time, I'm incredibly proud of the work that the NPA has done. I have no intention of stepping down. And sure, if, the processes must take its course, but my commitment is to the people of this country and to keep fighting for justice until the last day that I can legally be in office. As you indicated, Honorable Chair, it is indeed so that as the state, the prosecution can only appeal on points of law and not on points of fact. We also decided that, and in fact appointed independent senior counsel from the Bishu Bar in order to also provide advice on this issue. And the reason why we also got senior counsel involved, which we don't normally do in cases, is that given the criticism that was leveled against the prosecutors in this case, we thought it was really important in order to protect the integrity of the process and to give confidence that we have external senior counsel that peruses the matter, applies their mind, and also renders an opinion on the prospects of success on an appeal in this matter. Unlike convicted persons who can appeal on the basis of fact and law, as I said, the state can only appeal an acquittal on a question of law. The team studied the full transcript of the matter, and they compiled a memorandum of advice. They all unanimously agreed that there are sufficient grounds to appeal the judgment. The team identified several questions of law, which the trial court, in our view, should be asked to reserve for consideration by the Supreme Court of Appeal. They provided extensive motivation for arriving at each question of law. This memorandum of advice was prepared independently of the external counsel's opinion. The team sent the findings to the DPP, Mr. Barry Modolo, who is the decision maker in whether to appeal this matter or not, as the DPP in the division. On the 5th of May, Senior Counsel, having considered all the relevant documents, judgments, also provided an opinion on this aspect.
What is important about the appeal is that based on Section 319 of the Criminal Procedure Act, there must be mistakes of law that may have been done by the judge in the matter. Maybe the grounds of law where she maybe has made a mistake in law. That is the most important part of the appeal. But I have a concern here, Alicia, about the fact that at the same time, the NPA is also looking into investigating the conduct of the prosecutors who were involved in the case. I believe there was about 5 prosecutors who handled this matter. And now that gives you an idea that it's possible that what the judge said, and when she said she was not happy with even the cross-examination of the accused, Omotoso and the co-accused, because they believe that the cross-examination was about 2 hours of a case with 34 counts from, I believe, from 64. So what does that tell you? It tells you that as much as the NPA has a desire to appeal, they also have an issue with how the team performed. Now, if the team performed badly, that gives you an idea why there was an acquittal in the first place. But at the end of the day, the NPA has read the records of 2,000 pages. They'll be in a better position to know whether they have a strong case to appeal. But I think the state must be careful in not being emotional about the case, and not saying they are, but in not being swayed by the pressure of the society where you have trial by media or trial by social media, where you are doing things to appease to the public. The facts of the law must still stand. And if the prosecutors did bad, they must accept that they did not perform well. If they bring their A team now, they still need to deal with that because they can't bring new evidence. But like I say, they're in a better position because they've read the transcripts.
Very interesting that you mentioned these issues here, Melusi, because the NPA had previously, in the province, had actually previously defended its prosecutorial team there. And Batohi there, I'm sure you saw in the clip preceding our interview, conceding there that lessons by the state certainly need to be learned. And with that in mind then, that the prosecutors were dismal, the NPA would need to now allocate a completely new legal team, I suppose. And while then this is happening, Omotoso's immigration status in the country is another issue handled by a completely different department altogether, that is Home Affairs. So how will these then two processes unravel, you think?
All right, the two processes, the illegal immigration case and this particular case that we're dealing with, the case about the appeal, I believe they are just two different cases. Which are not really related. But you know, what comes to mind is Omotoso would have not been able to sort out his status in the country because he was in prison for 8 years. So maybe when he got out, he probably did not have enough time to do it. Not that I'm defending him, but the logic is, you know, the more he's in the country, the more he's kept in the country, the more the NPA can be able to have him close by, where he cannot be in Nigeria, for example. I think maybe that might be a strategy to be clarified in a higher court or in a superior court.
And I'm wondering what these strong grounds could be there, Melusi. And then also maybe just in closing as well, then talk to us about how significant it is, the public concern that is surrounding Omotoso's acquittal, and what impact could this have on the credibility of the legal processes in the country? I mean, some criminals have seemingly just figured exactly how to bypass our legal system as well as its loopholes. You look at cases of illegal immigrants and how they are completely aware that they do have rights and law cannot simply touch them until a certain time. So interestingly, behavior that they wouldn't even try in their own countries.
Yes, I think how this case has an impact on how the society views the justice system is the fact that, you know, when you are presented with a case, it's important for us to focus on the facts, to focus on the evidence, and to focus on the fact that the state, the prosecutors must not rely on sympathy that, you know, the judge will probably, just because it's a serious case, a conviction will be obtained. The states and the prosecutors, they still need to do their job to their best of their abilities. And even if it's done by different prosecutors, they must be able to have one strategy to get a conviction in a criminal case. I think that is very important. Why am I saying this? If you check, if you give me a minute, there was about 5 prosecutors involved in this case. And to a certain extent, there was a complaint about a certain prosecutor and how he was handling the victim. So I think the prosecutors or the NPA must look at themselves and accept, if they end up not even succeeding in the appeal, and accept that maybe they need to improve their performance, they need to improve how they work. And that is good if they are able to accept their mistakes and to work harder. And then the public will be able to get a better service. I think that is what is important. But if they made their mistake, I think they must just accept it, in my view, Adisha.
And we saw with those technical...
Okay, guys, if you watched up to here, I'd like to say thank you for watching my videos. As we saw that Shamila Batohi say, "Nigan Bali Klontole." Hey, guys, thank you for watching my videos, and I'll be seeing you on my next upload. If you have time and you're on Wi-Fi, kindly watch my ads in full. That support really goes a long way.